Hey guys, Tough Thumbs here. So trying to get back on track with making videos, and I got a whole bunch of stuff tonight to show you. Got an announcement that I want to make, but I'm not sure if I can, so that'll come in a later video. I kind of hinted at it the other day. But basically got some new knife I got for myself. I got in a trade and some really epic pimp jobs and some advice for fellow pimpers and knife makers of what never to do. And something I learned from making a mistake, and turned out good in the end, but it was definitely a horrible journey. That's all I gotta say. But it's my tough one here. This will be getting made, guys. I mean, this is my baby right here. I love this knife to death. So don't worry about, the Tough Tanic's getting made first. Yes, but that's because it's a more unique design. I want to kind of break on the scene with something different. The friction folders are one thing, but the Framelocks I feel are more like big boy knife makers, I guess. The friction folders are easier to do, a lot less when it comes to the crazy details. So these will be getting made, and there will be flippers as well, but with the thumb stud also. So these are gonna be really cool. So I'm thinking about doing 3 versions of this guy, depending on how it looks. There's some tweaks I want to make to it, just some slight tweaks, but it's perfect. And this pocket clip will probably be the same one that's going on the Tough Tanic. And yeah, Curtis flipper, been carrying it, absolutely love it. Cannot recommend it enough, guys. Great price on it, absolutely fantastic knife, smooth as hell and incredibly addictive to play with, and it's held an edge pretty damn well. So yeah, it's my Spyderco here that anybody wants at 200 bucks. It has never been used with me. Damascus, too pretty for me to keep. If you want it, 200 bucks. But it's nice and new, and it's a good knife, so I ain't gonna go cheap on it. So I got this knife, one of my grails. Showed it in Vance's videos. Always wanted one of these, a custom mixed strider. This one has the Nightmare grind, of course, a slightly different wedge with the dragon spine on it. Love it to death. It's got stonewash flats, mixed strider's signature there, nicely crudely etched in, which I actually, for some reason, that grew on me. Nice concealed carry, my favorite, carbon fiber, looking beautiful. I love striders that are concealed carry. Not a big fan of the Legos. They're completely different knives for me. Got the nice anodized bronze, purpley, beautiful, smooth titanium, just perfection all around. So I'm excited about this guy. I've been carrying it. I'm probably, I've been using it. I don't care. I just love it so much, and it goes nice with my other strider too. So I'm just happy to finally get one of these, and I just absolutely am in love with it. So I think my new goal is just to get striders, more striders. I love striders so much. Always have. I've been a big fan of them ever since I got my SNG a few years ago, and I've just had one pretty much for the most part, and I just love it. So this is just a grail for me, but it's going to get used. I don't care. I don't care. I love it so much. So the Tough One has been somewhat pimped. So the Tough One prototype, or not the Tough One, I'm sorry, the Tough Tanic, which I prefer to call it the Tanic, because the Tough Tanic sounds kind of lame somewhat. So, it's a Tanic, if you want to call it. It sounds kind of cooler that way. But this was full tie, and the titanium I used on this was not perfect. It had a countersink on the inner side. It's a prototype, so whatever. I just put it together. It wasn't enough to affect it, but I had to stack washers. I was basically just playing it by ear, putting this thing together as a prototype. The real one is perfect precision, perfection. Like, I had everything together enough to make it perfect, and basically wanted to know, okay, well, I should throw a piece of G10 on there and make a quick scale, and it'll be flat, and we'll see how it performs. And of course, it fixed it right away. It made it so much better. But also, I realized that I really like it with G10 more than full tie. That's just me. That's just my thing, because I'm crazy like that. This kind of has a really nice, deep, natural pattern on it. I put lots of pictures of this on Instagram. It's got the heavy blast on it. I just love it. It's perfect on this knife, and it's smoother. Of course, it has the issues that it always will have because I did it by hand. The cutout here is just rough, so it kind of runs along it somewhat. But just a tiny wrist flick, and it's just perfect. So I love this knife. I've been carrying it a lot too, and I've been alternating each day with my F3 and this guy, kind of like carry them both sometimes at the same time. So I love this thing. It's just awesome, and I can't wait till Mike sees it tomorrow, Gavco. because he will see how good it performs, a folder with a convex, without that like convex look to it. And I think he's just gonna love it, because I gotta sell him on this thing in order for him to buy one. He has to see what it's like first, because he can't support his buddy. I'm just joking, dude. But hopefully he's gonna give me a Bigfoot chopper in exchange. So we'll see how that goes. So I've always wanted one of his knives, but he's just way too expensive for me. I mean, definitely not worth the money. I'm joking. Now, if I had like the swinging ability that Cliff Stamp had, I mean, it'd be a different story. That shit's crazy. Guys should check him out. I'll put a link to that video in particular where he's using one of Mike's knives to chop wood like it's freaking chopping carrots. It's insane. So, first pimp job, we have I'm going to go through these sort of quickly. I'm probably not going to show that one that I was telling you about, the mistake I made. I'll probably make a special video just for that one. This is a Strider PT. This one has orange C-Tech. Do not recommend this for a Strider. This is part of a large order. This is the final one. But it turned out nice. I had to put the orange liner in there just to make it a little bit more rigid, because it's just G10. It's just the C-Tech, which will not hold up good with the flex and everything. So, little Strider PT. I don't like Strider PTs. That's just my thing. It's too small for me. And I've seen a lot of issues with them. That's just my opinion. But there's a lot of good ones out there too. This one's this one's pretty good. It's a little off center because it's loose. Did not tighten it. Yeah, it's even finger loose there. Nice sandblasted. Smooth C-Tac, looking good. Orange backspacer, looking good. C-Tac is beautiful. Just as long as you put that reinforcement in there, sometimes it's definitely a lot better. So sorry about the lack of music, guys. I'm just making this video. I don't want any delays. So next up, this one is actually going to have some elements redone on it, but I figured I'd show it off to you guys. This one's for Cajun Blaze. He just told me to go nuts with his Strider. It was a beat-up older Strider. It's been refurbished, I think, because it's got a cap over the thing. So I took the... I can't anodize this for a reason. It's because the backspacer would look like shit with any color, so I'm going to change the backspacer, so ignore it. So I put a nice stonewash on here. It takes a lot of work to get that flame job out of there. It's really on there. It almost like indents into the titanium, so I basically had to polish it off to stonewash it. So the blade's finished. The blade has been stonewashed to get that tire stripe out. Dragon spined as well, which looks really nice on this guy. Resharpened, really nice. Reprofiled somewhat. Just a nice stonewash, and the unidirectional, kind of with the. I kind of went for the mixed Strider custom pattern look to it, the thicker like U shapes. But the backspacer, Toxic Green and Black, looks good to me, but I'm not really in love with it because it kind of keeps me from doing anything on this side because it would just look hideous. And it sticks out like kind of like the Dragon Spine a little bit, and it's just raised up on the bottom. So I'm going to change this out with probably a more neutral color, probably black, but keep this pattern on there. It'll only take me a little bit of time, but I like it. Definitely turned out sweet. So Cajun Blaze, hope you like it. I haven't been able to get a hold of them really, but sexy. Now, finally, just so I can do a shorter video here, because I gotta show something. This one is sick. I really like this one a lot. I'm very happy with this. This is probably my third or fourth Framelock conversion that I've done, and this one is my favorite so far. Now, one of my favorite knives. This is a Lum Tonto. And as you can see, the Tonto has been tontoed and convexed a lot more to nice mirror polish. Of course, it's looking all crappy right now. Stonewash the blade. Nice stonewash on there. And you got the mill's not working, so I did it again by hand, so whatever. It's perfect lockup. Real early, almost too early. It needs some break-in. When you make a frame lock like right away, you see it's off center a little bit. It needs some break-in time. As you see, it's nice and solid, but occasionally doesn't grab on there. I may need to take a little hair off the bottom of the blade. I basically have to redo the radius under there just to make it lock up better, because I learned not to take away from the lock because it's got to be perfectly flat. Take away from the blade, you'll never get the original scales back on it, but I don't think it needs the original scales ever again. And of course you got the unidirectional with the natural pattern looking very sexy. All hardware has been stonewashed as well. It took about an hour looking through the stonewasher because one of the screws had fell off the frame. I keep it screwed in, Loctited, and never had one fall off, but this one did. So it took me about an hour and a half to get through there and look for it, which sucked. But this one's for my buddy in Canada. Good dude, very patient. I wanted to do something extra for him because he's been a great customer of mine, and I appreciate his patience. The guy keeps sending me way too many knives, so but it's sick. So I got some minor tweaks on here. I got to make that lock up a little later because I mean, as early as it is and as strong as it is, it scares me for the lock that early. I mean, it's not a good thing. I mean, a lot of guys like the super early lockup. I like there to be somewhat of a lock there, not just a little tip. So as is, that can happen. But as is right now, it's it's almost completely perfect. But my camera doesn't think so. Maybe make a backspacer or whatnot. But redid the detent. It's a lot deeper, or a lot bigger detent, which was easy to do on this blade, and it's awesome. So other than some minor hand done marks like right there, which doesn't bug me one bit, it's perfect. I love it. So on to the biggest thing, literally the biggest thing here. So today, good buddy Alex, he's been coming by here sometimes, and Scott, he came by here one time. Scott has a YouTube channel. Try to look for it. I'm not sure if he does videos or if he just comments, so I'll put a link if he does. If not, I'll just leave it out. But Alex and Scott, thanks again. They basically came over here and helped me out with the monster. So you can see on the wall there, they used their genius and basically got this thing running. So they had to rewire it because I have 110 here and then make it 220. So you got the static converter, whatever, the flux capacitor, and the left-handed smoke shifter, and now it runs. So unfortunately for me, I don't have a vise. So once I did it, we popped that on. So yeah, I don't have a vise to hold anything in place, so right now it's just a giant spinny thing. So I'm not about to go using something with this power and right here. So I gotta get the vise, which is very expensive. So I may be selling some knives this week or something, or using some of the money for the Tough Tanics if I do have everything paid for and the production of them. Otherwise, yeah, I'll probably go with the cheaper one, which is decent. I got some recommendations that I have from experience are good. So, but the vices can go for like $700 to $800 for the decent ones that I'm supposed to get. So, we'll see. Gotta put this guy back in my pocket. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll tell you about this knife tomorrow, maybe the next day. This is the most insanely difficult thing I've done in my life as far as pimp jobs go. Whoops. This is an old knife that suddenly doesn't lock. That's because the lock's up. Well, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Have a good night. Peace.